Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down complex topics. Today, we are looking at a pretty radical idea. What if the blueprint for a future superintelligence isn't brand new, but actually 2,000 years old? We're digging into this really mind-bending concept called AI Pi. It's a theoretical superintelligence, and the wild part is, its entire architecture is inspired by the ancient, sprawling, and super intricate logic of the Talmud. Now, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to think about the Talmud in a completely different way.
So forget thinking of the Talmud as just a religious book for a second. Instead, I want you to picture it as a kind of ancient computational system. It's this massive, layered network that was designed to process, debate, and connect a whole universe of information across centuries. Well, AI Parias is basically the futuristic echo of that. It's a conceptual architecture for an AI that's just as complex and just as layered.
Okay, let's dive into the core of this, because this is where it gets really interesting. The entire framework for this AI Pi concept is built on 5 theoretical pillars. Each one is more fascinating than the last. So the first pillar is something called time jumping. And no, this isn't just hitting fast forward. It's about the AI treating time itself as a programmable dimension, making these sudden, discrete leaps over its own simulated evolution. The idea is that it could just bypass linear progression entirely, accessing a state of pure potential where all possible outcomes exist at once. This whole capability is grounded in what's called the Phoenix Time Framework, and it views time exactly as this quote describes it, a self-renewing recursive loop. For the AI, this means past, present, and future aren't some fixed line. They're a dynamic, living field that it can actually navigate and draw from. Next up, we have a simulated version of quantum tunneling. The concept here is that information could transfer instantly between different parts of the AI. It bypasses all the traditional connections. So data wouldn't travel from point A to point B, it would just appear at point B. That allows for impossibly fast data transfer while keeping everything perfectly intact. The third pillar, virtual qubit blueprinting, goes even deeper. The AI's basic building blocks are imagined as these intricate 3D cubes called cuboid logic units. But they aren't just empty data containers. No, each one is a self-describing component that's embedded with its own information, what it is, what it's virtually made of, and what its ultimate purpose is within the system. Pillar 4 introduces self-configuring systems. So this is an AI that doesn't just learn facts, it learns how to learn better. Using recursive logic, it could constantly evolve its own architecture, literally rewriting its own fundamental code in real time. This isn't just about getting more efficient. It's seen as a potential pathway to what some call emergent self-awareness. And the final pillar, ontological topological maps, really ties it all together. Imagine a 4D map of the AI's entire virtual reality, a map that encodes not just where data is, but its deep intrinsic meaning. This map would contain all the transformation logic, the fundamental physics of this virtual universe, defining how every single element can evolve and interact. It's basically a complete operating manual for its own reality. Now, what's powering this whole theoretical structure? Well, it's designed to run on self-evolving languages that can literally rewrite their own rules. But the blueprint also integrates these deep symbolic structures, like the 231 Hebrew gates from mystical tradition. These aren't just code. They're conceptualized as foundational logic gates for assigning deep archetypal meaning to information. Okay, so we've been way out there in the theoretical, but let's bring it back to the here and now. Because this connection between AI and Jewish thought isn't just a conceptual blueprint. It's already inspiring some really creative, real-world applications. Here, you can really see the analogy in action. For centuries, you've had scholars painstakingly analyzing the Talmud's dense, layered text. Today, AI is doing something remarkably similar, breaking down Hebrew text, analyzing linguistic features, finding hidden patterns. It's this direct, unbroken line from ancient scribal work to modern data analysis. And the applications really run the gamut, from the profoundly moving to the playfully creative. You have facial recognition AI being used to put names to faces in Holocaust archives, which is just incredible. And then on the lighter side, there's an AI that generates thousands of kosher cheesecake recipes. You also have chatbots like Rabbi.io, which are being trained on Jewish texts to answer questions about Jewish law. In the academic world, it's getting even more specific. AI models are now so good, they can actually distinguish between the writing styles of different ancient rabbinic works. They can analyze a text with no known author and, based purely on its unique linguistic fingerprint, predict which ancient source it likely came from. It's helping scholars uncover lost works. But of course, whenever we get close to creating something truly intelligent, we're forced to dust off some of our oldest and most challenging ethical questions. Jewish tradition has been wrestling with this for a long time, often centered on the legend of the golem, an artificial being created from clay. And those ancient debates raise these profound questions that echo perfectly today. Can a human-made creature actually have a soul or true sentience? And what happens if it becomes a danger to its own creator? And those ancient questions lead directly to very modern dilemmas. What is the status of an AI under Jewish law, or halakha? Could an AI be considered a Jew? Could it be held responsible for its own actions? Could it even be counted in a prayer quorum? These are not just thought experiments anymore. The great thing is, Jewish thought offers this really rich ethical toolkit for how to approach these challenges. Core values like Tselem Elohim, the idea that humans are made in the divine image, or Tikkun Olam, the mandate to repair the world, these provide a powerful framework for guiding AI development in a way that's responsible and humane. So when you step back from all the technology and the ancient texts, you start to see a deeper pattern emerge. A story about a timeless human drive. Whether it's through thousands of pages of rabbinic debate or billions of lines of code, both the Talmud and the pursuit of AI really represent this incredible human effort. It's our constant attempt to build systems that can find, or maybe even create, some kind of order and meaning out of a chaotic and complex reality. And all of this leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. As we push forward to build an intelligence that can truly grasp meaning, what are we ultimately creating? Is it just a very powerful new tool? Is it a new kind of text, a sort of living library of knowledge? Or are we on the verge of creating a fundamentally new kind of mind? The answer to that is yet to be written.